So, guys. Yeah, Aloe Claw, what is it? What do you guys think about, Venom the Last Dance trailer? It was okay. I actually kind of liked it. I haven't seen it yet. Do you guys have any high hopes for the movie? I kind of do, but I don't want to say it because they may be potential spoilers, so yeah. I honestly don't have high hopes for the movie. But why? Because, okay, understand this from my point of view. The first Venom movie was actually pretty good. I actually liked it. When I first watched it, at first I wasn't a fan. But when I watched it a second time, I actually started to like the movie. Because there was like some horror elements, there were some funny moments. And honestly, when I watched the trailers, it actually kind of felt more like a horror movie rather than an action-packed movie. At least to me, honestly. You're not the only one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought about it like that. Well, whatever. In this case, I thought it was actually going to be a pretty well-made movie. So, yeah, I actually declare the first Venom movie to be possibly the best Venom movie I have seen so far. Now, enter Venom Let There Be Carnage. When I watched Venom Let There Be Carnage for the first time, I didn't know what to think or how to feel about that particular movie. What do you mean? I don't know it. I guess it was just rather the tone of the movie and how Eddie and Venom were not really the main focus of the movie. If anything, the main focus of the movie was kind of on Carnage, Cletus, and Shriek. Which, that's something I don't like. But what do you mean? What do you mean you don't like the main focus being on Shriek and Cletus and Carnage? Don't get me wrong, Carnage is my favorite symbiote. But when I heard his voice, like for the first time, I didn't heard his voice in the trailer. But when I heard his voice, he kind of sounded like he wasn't kind of meant to be in the movie. What do you mean by that, Grim? What I mean by that is, like when I heard him talking, he sounded like he was kind of bored. It felt like he just didn't belong in that kind of movie. He didn't quite have the intimidation in his voice. Sure, it was in when he said, "Let there be carnage." That was the only part, that was the only line that I liked. And honestly, I felt like it was a well-made line. But all the other times when he's talking, he just sounds rather kind of bored and feels like he just doesn't belong in the movie, honestly. And of course, Venom's voice changed too. He sounded a bit more higher pitch rather than lower pitch. That's what I liked about the first Venom movie. In the first movie, his voice sounded a bit more like demonic, honestly. But in the second movie, he almost sounds a bit more like a high-pitched girl screaming. Here, I guess I can kind of see what you're talking about. Yeah, I can kind of see what you're talking about, too. What are you guys talking about? Oh, we're talking about Venom the Last Dance trailer. We just saw it. Okay. I'm actually kind of interested listening to this. And I can't tell if it was rather me, or was that just like the direction on where they wanted to take for Venom Let There Be Carnage. And of course, there was another severe problem that I had with that freaking movie. And that was, well, like when was the FBI suspecting or investigating Eddie for, what happened? Like, if anything, I thought they cleared him out of the first movie, so why are they suspecting him in Venom Let There Be Carnage? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, was there some kind of lore or some kind of behind or some kind of deleted scene that we didn't quite see in the first movie? The other thing I didn't like about it was, well, honestly, Venom and Eddie's like a little breakup moment. Just like, to me, I felt like I was kind of watching like some kind of boring 1960s family drama movie or some shit like that. I mean, he's got a point. Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with that on that one. I also felt like it was just pointless, honestly, and wasting a lot of potential time, honestly. Like, you know what they should have done? They should have done one of two things. Rather, one, go in depth about Venom's backstory, and like, how did he became a loser? Because in the first movie, we kind of saw how Eddie became a loser. He destroyed his job and his marriage all by himself. But what made Venom become a loser? That is actually a good question. What made Venom become a loser? And of course, maybe like, I don't know, show like a flashback. Maybe like a very interesting flashback about what Eddie and Venom have been doing after the first Venom movie. And the fight scene, the final battle scene, I think it was kind of rushed, honestly. The fight was just kind of rushed. It was switching from Venom and Carnage to Eddie and Cletus. And of course, Shriek and that cop dude. And, well, I just don't know, honestly. Like, I don't know how to feel about that. I honestly don't know how to feel about that particular final battle. Where in Venom, the 2018 Venom, I actually was clapping and cheering about that final battle because it was freaking amazing. Seeing how the way Venom was actually struggling with freaking Riot. But when I was watching this battle, it almost kind of seemed like Venom was just kind of holding back, honestly. Because, honestly, like, I know he was terrified of Carnage because he was a red symbiote, and red symbiotes are, like, more powerful, more stronger. But if you guys, like, watch that final battle, watch it repeatedly over and over again, it actually kind of looks like Venom was actually holding back. Actually, now that I look back at it, I actually kind of see it too, honestly. I actually think Venom is holding back. See? Freaking Hank understands what I'm talking about. That's my cousin. My name is Steve, remember? Oh, right, Steve. Sorry. Wait, I thought your name was Toast. No, we're not doing that again. Oh, right, sorry, forgot. And I honestly felt like that ending was just a little too much happy. I don't know, maybe like show like Eddie and Venom like encountering a group of bad guys, and the movie ends with Venom and Eddie like going on to fight those bad guys, and maybe show a scene of, like, Venom eating them. Okay, well, what about that post-credit scene? What do you think about that? I actually think that post-credit scene was actually handled pretty well, honestly. I honestly think that post-credit scene was handled pretty well. I actually had no problems with that post-credit scene. It was just the rest of the movie I had a problem with. Don't forget about Anne. Oh yeah, Anne, I think Anne and, freaking, her, you know what? Yeah, Dan. Dan and Annie were just kind of a waste. Like, what was the point of bringing them back? Anne was clearly there to be like this whiny little spoiled little brat and just be like, oh, you don't love me, you can't love anyone, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, I think that's just a clear way of showing us that Anne is not a very likable character, honestly. She has her moments, honestly. Yeah, she does, honestly, have her moments. She's sometimes likable, but at the same time, sometimes hateable, too. And from Venom, Let There Be Carnage, honestly, she turned out to be a very hateable character, because how the way she treated Eddie and Venom, and how the way she just handled Eddie when he and her kind of went out on like a little date, and how she broke both Eddie and Venom's heart. Wait, hold on. What about that prison breakout scene with Carnage? I actually think that was handled pretty well, just like with the post-credit scene. Like, just like the post-credit scene, I believe that prison breakout scene was actually handled pretty well. Okay, so what does the first two Venom movies have to do with the third Venom movie? Well, for one, it's the title. The title is what buggers me. Like, seriously, like The Last Dance? Why not call it, like, something like The Last Fight? Or, like, the Last Final Battle or something like that. I don't freaking know. I can't come up with a good name. I'm not a movie producer. I don't make movies. If I did, I probably would have come up with a much better title for a Venom movie rather than just The Last Dance. And is it just me, or did I feel like there was some huge reference to freaking Transformers Rise of the Beast? What do you mean by that? Okay, so understand this. Venom and Eddie are just continuing living their lives in total peace. By what I mean by peace, I mean by just going around fighting bad guys and biting their heads off, blah 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 blah, the same old drill that they did in the first two movies. Go around, fight bad guys' heads off, they save the day, the end. Right? Right? Wrong. Because, lo and behold, frickin' Noel comes, and Venom says the line of, we have something that he needs.